Rusty's Crypto Cave here, and today we are going to do another rundown of monthly profitability. June ended yesterday, and I didn't do a video yesterday, just had a bunch of running around and different other personal things to do, and I figured I was going to be making a video today too about the profitability for the month of June, so I saved it to today. So that's what we're going to go over. And you can see here the chart that I have pulled up in the spreadsheet. This is my electricity bill for each month so far this year. And as you can see, for the month of June, bill came in at $1842.54, quite a bit higher than it was last month, mainly because the electric usage was high, even more so than back in April when I had more ASICs running. But we did have a heat wave here, so the central air unit was cranking away. So that's where a bulk of the extra usage was, because once we get over here to the mining rigs, the 1660 Ti's actually used a little bit less power for the month. 2070s, slightly less as well, about 30 kilowatts less than in May. The 3070 Ti's did use a little bit more, about 150 kilowatts more for the month. And then the mining shed used about 260 kilowatts more for the month. The shed, some of the changes in there for the month wasn't really a whole lot. Not the only thing really that changed out there was I just decreased the overclocks on most of the 30 series rigs on Xelis at some point in the month, maybe about halfway. Not 100% exactly sure when I did that, just to make them a little bit more efficient. It was probably right around when the heat wave came through, because we did have a lot of heat. It was 90 plus here for almost a week, so I did reduce the overclocks to reduce the heat that was being produced in the shed, plus just to get as much profitability out of Xelis as I possibly could, because Red Fox's overclocks were a little bit more efficient than what Groupman's are on most cards. My 3080s, I think, using Groupman's were a little bit more efficient, but they were getting a bit toasty, so I put them on Red Fox's OCs, which is like the 1470 core instead of the 1605 core, and no memory offset or anything like that. So they did definitely ran cooler, produced less heat, so it was much easier to keep under control. And then I also figured out adding the fans to the back of the case to the CMP cards. That helped a ton to keep them running cool. So now heat's not an issue in the shed, even when it's 90, 95. Hasn't gotten to 100 yet, but it was about 96, 97 at the peak last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. So the CMP cards did still run good. But anyway, back total kilowatt used for the month. Mining was 12,144 for a total cost of $1442.47. So that's the amount of power that was used for the month. And then let's go to June. And as you can see over here, all the transactions, other than a handful there's a Chia payment, there's a Cardano payment, which is the CPU rigs are mining RandomX to Unmineable and getting paid out in Cardano. Jazz Miner still mining Octaspace, another Cardano payment, another Chia payment. There's a Caspa payout for the KS2, another Cardano. But as you can see, pretty much everything is all Zell. I was pretty much getting 4 payouts a day, right around 0.7. Some of them were a little bit higher. You get some here that are over 1, but pretty much all the Zell payments were in the 0.7 range-ish. Sometimes there was payouts a little bit more, though, But yeah, it was pretty much Xelis mining for the whole month. I only took one BTC payout from NiceHash, and that was on the last day of the month. So yesterday, mined 0.0410824 Bitcoin for about $260, and that was on the S19K Pro. Was running primarily most of the month at 115 to 120 terahash, and the 104 was at about 65 to 68, 69 terahash, running around 1500 watts or so. Although the last few days, Brains did a retune, and the power usage jumped up like 200 watts, and the hash rate dropped to like 55. So I restarted another one, and it's back to what it was running at before. And then here we have all the node payouts for the month. This is where the biggest change took place, or biggest hit as far as income, I should say. Because the Neoxa price got pounded in the month of June, probably down about 50% for the month from beginning to end, peak to trough. So it went from almost 0.002 to 0.001, 0.0011 as far as US dollar value wise goes. So the total revenue just from node income was 166, current value of 129, so that's a $40 hit. Percentage dollar wise, yeah, it's $40. Doesn't seem like too bad, but That's a 25% hit or so as far as drop in value when all is said and done at the end of the month. And that's counting the income and stuff from the Flux node and the pre-search and all that stuff. This last payment was a pre-search airdrop that they're doing throughout the whole year. And that goes up slightly every single month. Let's see. That actually seems a little bit lower than what it was before, too. I thought that was like 300 and some last month. But anywho, doesn't matter. And then here are this used to be my DeFi section, but it is now the DPIN section, essentially. So it has my mobile payments in here from Helium. And I've got about 9,500 mobile for the month. And then also the DIMO payments for the month. First 2 weeks, it was just the Tacoma that was on there. And then the last 2 weeks, the 17th and the 24th payouts, that's the Tacoma payout. That is the Supra payout, Tacoma and Supra. Here you can see I changed levels with the Tacoma. I finally hit the level 3, I believe it is. So I'm getting about 50%, close to 50% more as far as a payout. Next week I do hit the next level with the Supra. So that I'm going to guess is probably going to jump up to, if it's another 50% bump, it might go up to 42 just for the Supra. Because currently I'm getting about 43-ish a week, 42, 43 DIMO a week with both vehicles. So I'm thinking I might be able to get up to 55 to 60-ish ballpark. So we'll see. Next Monday will be the next first payout with the new level on the Supra. So we'll see how that works. But down here, total mining revenue for the month combined was $1,869.98. Current value, this wasn't refreshed in a while, so I'll have to refresh it, but current value is $1,873, and that's mainly because of the Caspa pump. I haven't refreshed this since sometime yesterday or the day before, maybe even. Not 100% sure, so let's give that a refresh right now. I'm feeling that's going to turn negative, is what my guess is. Yeah, $5 swing. So not a huge difference, but it changed a little bit. And it doesn't vary that much because pretty much all these Zelle payments, this current value column is what I actually sold it for in USDT. So that's what hit my trade order account in USDT. So there's no fluctuations. It is what it is. And I have been cashing that out. I was cashing out to Coinbase, but I actually recently said screw Coinbase, and I figured out what my login and password to Kraken was, and then I just did a test. I sold some yesterday and did a withdrawal last night. It actually already just hit my account, probably as of 2 hours ago, in the checking account. So I'm going to be sending all the Litecoin there just because the Kraken fees are a whole lot less than Coinbase. Kraken fees end up being like 0.25 to 0.4%. Coinbase fees are like 2-3% every time you want to sell something. So unless you pay for Coinbase One or whatever the hell that shit is. But I'm not paying $30 a month just to save on fees. I'll just use Kraken. Works just as well. So, and the fees are way less. But anyway, let's go down here and look at coins mined for the month. Like I said before, 0.004 Bitcoin for $260. 101 DIMO for the month for about $18. 83 Flux, that's all node income for a total income of $72. 1,200 Caspa for the month. So I got one payout on the KS2 and one payout on the KS0s. The KS0s should be paying out again next week. They take probably about a month, a little over a month to pay out for both of them to reach 200 Caspa on 2 KS0s. Original KS0s that are overclocked to 160 gigahash. And then the KS2 is bone stock. Actually, I just received another payout today for the KS2. So they are roughly in a little over the 2-week range for those. But since the payout was received today, that's going into July income. So we'll see that next month. 67 Xelis mined for the month for a total value of $1,100. 74 Cardano, $31. 58,800 Neoxa. That's all node income. Nothing was mined for $86. Still definitely extremely profitable because those two nodes cost me $12. So it's $74.90 of pure profit. So still not terrible. Nowhere near as good as it once was. But hey, are any of us as good as we once were? There's a country song about that shit, isn't there? 20 Octaspace for the month for $36. That is on the Jazzminer X41U. And then near the end of the month, I did switch my 20 series rigs over to Unmineable, mining Dynex and swapping into Raven because Dynex was the least unprofitable, I guess you could say, for the 20 series rigs of coins to mine. Xelis wasn't really cutting it, so I did swap them over to Dynex to Raven, and then Raven over to Tangem. So I got one payout of $10. I have every 500 Raven. I'm going to request a payout. Chia, 0.07 Chia for the month for a whopping $2. Only got 250 months or so, and that puppy breaks itself even. So, actually, I got about 1.8 Chia is what I've earned on my Evergreen Mina. So it's what, $40, $45. Yeah. Slow boat to Tuna Town for that one. 481 pre-search for the month for $7. Those nodes are barely breaking even. I basically made $1.60 on the 3 nodes because I do have 3 of them hosted, and the other one is on a Raspberry Pi at home. So if I did have all 4 hosted, would not be making money at all. So, and then like I mentioned earlier as well, we had 95, almost 9,600 mobile for the month. Some of it was the first payout I swapped into Solana. Second payout I swapped into USDC. And USDC and Coinbase earning the 5% or whatever it is. So that's the rundown there. Let's take a look at the income statement. Actually, take a look at Neoxa here too for my quick, because I did want to cover this. You can see at the beginning, near the beginning of the month, June 4th, 0.00194, hit a low here of 0.0010792. So just about half. We're back up to 0.0012 in that range. So that is better, but still pretty bad. So no bueno. All right, let's go back to income statement here. And here we go. As you see, mining income just for GPUs and ASICs was $1671.55. Node income, all combined, Neoxa, Presearch, Flux, all 3 of them together, was $166. DeFi, which is technically DPIN now, for mobile and DIMO, is $31.68. Electric for the month was $14.42 for mining operations. Hosting fees for the month was $46. All those hosting fees, I probably mentioned it in an earlier video about the monthly profitability. All those were paid on yearly subscriptions, so they are already paid for. But I just break it down in here as far as each month what it runs. But that was $46. And then total profit after electricity and hosting fees of $381. So yeah, not too good. Less than half of what it was last month. Biggest driver, drop in price in Xelis, drop in price in Neoxa, and overall just drop in crypto prices altogether. That has all added to the decrease in earnings for the month. I do have a GeoNet miner on order that has not shipped yet. So at some point, and I know that I think they just took halving yesterday. So from now on, it would be, I did take the halving into account when I was estimating about what I would earn. So, but so at some point that will get added in here to DPIN earnings, but as of right now, it's not there. And I still did not move my Helium outdoor hotspot. I need to do that, so that will help out with the DPIN earnings as well. But realistically, we just need crypto prices to recover. I mean, June was a rough month as far as that goes, as far as mining and everything, because $381 a profit. As you see, that was definitely by far the worst. All in all, though, if you look as far as percentage return, as far as you spent about, say, $1,500 if you add these two together, roughly $300, even just rounding down, just to make numbers a little bit easier. So that's 1/5. So that's a 20% return in a month as far as what I put out. You look at it that way, that's not bad. But when you look at, that's 100% return in a month. So looking at in comparison to previous months, it sucked. So, but still profitable. So it's not as bad as what some people are dealing with as far as electricity rates. I did just switch to a different supplier because my contract expired. It's going to be a tiny bit lower. I mean, by maybe a half a cent lower. That's about it. So it's not going to make a huge difference, but might give me a little bit more breathing room before I have to start shutting some things down. Because what I'm doing now, just mining and selling in the USDT, not really holding the coins, I'm not going to mine at a loss. It makes 0 sense. Bitcoin ASICs I'll probably still leave on. Caspa ASICs are still profitable. That stuff I'll leave going, but if it gets to the point where I'm not making any money whatsoever, then I'll probably just shut some stuff down. Some of the more efficient stuff I might leave on and just do Unmineable just to fill some bags of the other coins, but don't need to have the whole farm running if none of it's making money. So I might just leave a rig or two on just to stack some coins of different stuff, but that's about it. But I'll keep an eye on that as July progresses. Hopefully we get some recovery in prices. Caspa had a nice pump recently. It's probably going to have a nice little dump here too with the whole KRC20 debacle from yesterday and the network congestion. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, it was at 19.5 cents roughly, and it's already down to 17 something cents today. So we'll see where it all ends up. But for the most part, just got to keep an eye on it. I'm going to keep on mining Xelis the way I have been for a month and a half now, I guess it's been, until something else that's more profitable comes along. Or if Xelis becomes completely unprofitable for me, then I'll just shut some stuff off. So just have to monitor it day by day. I'm checking on my rigs, checking on profitability as often as I can. And we'll just keep at it, keep hammering away. So that about wraps it up for the profitability for June. Slim margins, that's for sure, but still in the black, I guess you could say, or white, whatever you want to call it here. But didn't go negative, not red, so I don't have, I guess, a ton to bitch and complain about. So we will keep on keeping on, like I say, a lot. So anywho, so we're going to get off to the next video. And got another one. I'm still working on the top 5 things I've learned in crypto. Kind of having a hard time deciding which ones to put in the top 5. I thought I had it, and I thought of a few other things, and so I'm still messing around as far as that goes. I'm going to try to do a little bit better editing and maybe do some B-roll and stuff on that. But well, that might be Wednesday. It might be next weekend. I'm not sure exactly when that will get uploaded, but I'll start messing around with that. But until the next one, we'll catch you later. Have a good one.